we are going to be learning how to derive chemical formulas, and you know that this is one of the most basic, fundamental and very important concept in chemistry. You cannot do chemistry without knowing how to derive chemical formulas because you are going to use them in equations. This is very important. So when you are deriving chemical formulas, you make a good use of symbols of elements and their valency. This is very important. First of all, we have to start by listing some of the valencies we have. Now, talking about valency, what is the meaning of valency? Valency simply means the number of electrons an atom needs to lose, to gain, or to share to be stable. Each atom during combination, they are not always stable. That is why they are combining through chemical bonding. So the number of electrons that each atom needs to gain, or to lose, or to share to be stable is known as its valency. As you can see, hydrogen, for example, hydrogen has a valency of 1. Yes, hydrogen usually share 1 electron to be stable. Oxygen has a valence of 2. These are non-metals. Hydrogen and oxygen are non-metals, so they usually share electrons to be stable. You can talk of sodium, say group 1 elements need to give out 1 electron to be stable to a non-metal, of course, like chlorine. Sodium can give out 1 electron to chlorine to be stable. That is why sodium is having a valence of 1. You can also talk of chlorine. Chlorine is a group 7 element and is having a valency of 1 as well. It needs to accept 1 electron from a metal to be stable. That is why it's having a valency of 1. You can also talk of magnesium, which is a group 2 element. Magnesium is having a valence of 2. You can also talk of a group 2 element known as calcium. Calcium is a group 2 element having a valence of 2. It needs to give out 2 electrons to be stable. Aluminium as well. Aluminium has a valence of 3. Metals usually give out electrons and non-metals accept. You can also talk of nitrogen. Nitrogen has a valence of 3. Nitrogen with a valence of 3. Sulfur is an element with a valency of 2. Sulfur has a valence of 2, not 3. So these are elements and their valencies. We are going to choose some basic compounds and derive their formulas, so as to use the principles which are needed for you to derive chemical formula. For example, let's derive the formula of sodium chloride, common salt. Sodium chloride. As you can see, sodium chloride is a compound which is made of 2 different elements. An element of sodium and an element of chlorine. So this is what you are supposed to do. Write the elements, the symbol of the element. Sodium has a symbol of Na with a valency of 1. Write an element and its valency. Chlorine has a symbol of Cl with a valence of 1. So after writing all this, you are going to cross multiply each element and the opposite valency. So you are going to have sodium is going to take a valency of 1 and chlorine is going to take a valence of 1. But you know that in chemistry, you always have to simplify all these to their lowest form. So it becomes sodium chloride like this. This is the formula of sodium chloride. Let's derive the formula of magnesium oxide. Magnesium and oxygen. Magnesium oxide. When you see oxide, it means that oxygen is involved. It's not oxide. So you have 2 elements, an element of magnesium and an element of oxygen combining to form magnesium oxide. So we are going to write each element or each symbol of the elements with its corresponding valency. Magnesium has a valence of 2, Mg, which is 2, and oxygen O has a valence of 2 as well. This is how you write it, and you cross multiply. This symbol takes this valency, while this other symbol takes this valency. So the final product, what you're going to have is magnesium taking this valency of 2 and oxygen taking a valence of 2. But you simplify to a lowest form. These 2 can cancel this one, and it boils down to magnesium oxide like this. This is the right formula of magnesium oxide. Let's go ahead and derive the formula of calcium chloride. Calcium and chlorine. Calcium chloride. When you see calcium chloride, it means that you have 2 elements, calcium and the element chlorine. So calcium has a symbol of Ca with a valence of 2 because it's in group 2. All group 2 elements usually give 2 electrons to be stable. And you have chlorine. It's coming from chloride. Chlorine with a valence of 1. So if you cross multiply, calcium takes a valence of 1, the valence of chlorine, and chlorine takes the valence of calcium. So you have calcium chloride. If you want to simplify to lowest form, it's going to come down to calcium chloride. This is the right formula of calcium chloride. Let's derive the last formula, which is the formula of aluminium oxide. Aluminium oxide. These are 2 elements, an element of aluminium and an element of oxygen. So you have the symbols of each element involved. Aluminium is Al with a valence of 3. It has to give out 3 electrons to be stable. And you have oxygen as well. Oxygen with a valence of 2, it has to share 2 electrons to be stable. Cross multiply aluminium takes the valence of oxygen, so you are going to have aluminium 2, and oxygen takes a valence of aluminium, which is 3, aluminium oxide. This is the right formula of aluminium oxide. You cannot simplify again because 2 cannot cancel 3, so you are going to end at this level. This is how you simplify it. This is all what we have for today. If you want to learn more about sciences, make sure you subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification bell so that you are going to get notified whenever I upload videos like this. If you like this video, hit the like button and drop a comment at the comment section.